Back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking, and this is episode number 630 of the Immigration Answer Show, coming to you live from Panera in Boulder, Colorado. This is probably the seventh or eighth Panera where I've done a show, so we should probably try to make them a sponsor. I didn't just come in and mooched. I bought a soda even while I'm drinking water because it's very dry here. How's everybody doing? Oh, Shauna's in Denver, recovering from surgery. Well, good luck with that, Shauna. How's everybody doing? How's your weekend going? What's new? What's going on? It's beautiful here. I'll be here for a whole week for softball. So Nora starts playing softball on Tuesday. Tomorrow she's got a camp, and then we go from there. So I see everybody in the comments. I say hello to each and every one of you. Thank you all for being here. Tony's at Pride Weekend in San Francisco. Good stuff. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to talk to Nancy first. Hello, Nancy.
Hi, thank you
How are you?
for the question. Fine, thank you. I have a quick question. So my dad, he was approved for the PIP and he received the white card. So we went to the DMV the other day and the lady told me that she couldn't find the I-94 number. I show her that there is an A number on the back of the car, and she said, "Well, that's the alien number, but that's different from the I-94 number." So I didn't know anything about that. I called immigration. Immigration said you have to call the Central Border Patrol. I called them. So my question is, I'm planning to do the adjustment of status. Am I gonna need that specific number, the I-94 number, or can I just file the petition with the A number that he already has? Is that
Well, you
number
want to
already?
list it. If you apply for adjustment for him, and I don't know that you can. I've never done a case like that before, so I don't know if you can or not. Um, but yeah, you'll want to include the A number he's been given if you try to apply for a green card. Yeah.
So the I-94 number is not necessary. Is it enough with the A number?
Hmm.
Really? Okay, so no adjustment status or any other papers or documentation, just the A number will be
Now,
enough.
now you're asking me a different question. What question are you asking me now? I don't understand.
Okay, specifically, like
Can
when
if
I
you're
was
asking me if you're asking me, can I apply for my father for a green card who's been paroled in place and doesn't need an I-94 to do that? No, he does not. You would just leave that question blank. If that's the question, I I have no idea whether he's eligible for all that. I'm not saying go ahead and file it. I'm saying that in answer to your limited question, if it's if you're applying for adjustment and they ask for the I-94 and he doesn't have one, you would just leave it blank.
okay, all right. Thank you for answering my question.
Hi, Nancy. Einstein's here. Hello, Einstein.
Hi,
Hello, Einstein. What's
hi, can you
what's
hear
up?
me? Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know what's wrong with my camera. But I have a question, right? So I want to know if so I qualify for EB2 NIW and I equally qualify for the VAWAR. So I have a question. My question is, if I file
Well,
for
wait, hold on. Who says you qualify for an NIW?
NIW, I've had consultations. I'm currently a PhD student. I have um, my undergrad 2016 graduate. I'm now been working in research. Currently, I'm currently working in research and everything. I have publications and everything, so I qualify.
Well, no one can tell you that you qualify. Only USCIS can tell you that you qualify, and that's only after you file an I-140. So don't assume that that's a slam dunk. If you're still working on your PhD, I think the chances of an IW are actually about 30%. So don't be so confident.
Say again?
Okay. Listen up. Ready? Are you listening?
Yeah.
I think you are overestimating the likelihood of your national interest waiver. Just
Okay.
because a lawyer says that you're eligible, if you don't have if you just now got your PhD, that's like scratching the surface for NIW. I don't think anyone can tell you with confidence that you're eligible, that you qualify for NIW. Only USCIS can say whether you qualify, and the only way that happens is if you file an I-140.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
So
I
don't be
mean,
so confident.
yeah. I understand. I mean, what I mean is that I want to fight for it. That's what I mean. And
Okay.
yeah.
So you're weighing your options. Should I do NIW or should I do VAWA? Well, tell me about your VAWA case.
My vowel case has been there. Got married some months ago, and then started having issues, abusive, toxic marriage, and everything. So, currently we're separated, and I've had the consultation with a lawyer, and she said I can file for VAWA. So my question is,
Based on what, my brother? Based on what? What violence befell you? What violence occurred to you? Did your spouse hit you?
mhm, emotional,
Your spouse hit you?
emotional abuse, all those things. Yeah, and she does get
Emo-
physical sometimes.
okay. All right. Go ahead with your question.
So my question is, I want to know if I can file the two simultaneously, like at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, so another question is, if I file the VAWAR and get the work permit, let's say in 6 months' time, and then while my EB2, let's assume all things being equal, it was approved. Can I like stop the VAWAR case and then continue the EB2? Is it possible?
Are you still in status?
Yeah, I'm still in status till 2027. Student
I
status.
would say I would say yes, you can, but it looked to me if you file an EB2 NIW and you file a VAWA, and then your NIW I-140 gets approved, and then you withdraw the VAWA, then I'm asking myself, is this guy for real, or is this guy just filing everything he can to stay in the United States?
Okay. 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 So probably what the best thing to do is just to, since I'm gonna be filing both of them, is just to leave both of them. But
If they both have a merit, but again, I don't know that either has merit. You haven't told me anything about the violence or the abuse. It sounds like you're just grasping for straws to get a green card. You didn't tell me
no,
anything about you. You have a
no.
PhD. You don't have a PhD yet, and you think you're entitled to an NIW, which is. Have you tried to find an employer to sponsor you? I mean, why is it in the national interest of the United States to not require you to find an employer like everybody else?
I have an employer currently. I'm currently employed in my school. I don't have my PhD already, but I'm still currently in school. I'm still in my second or third year.
So what you should be doing if you're calling me is you should be saying, Jim, what are the chances of me getting an NIW if I don't even have my PhD yet? Now, our good friend Princess Lizzie did it, but that's very unusual. You're barely started in your field of study. So to think that they're going to bend over backwards to give you a national interest waiver and not make you find an employer, I think what you should be asking me is, Jim, what are the chances of that? And I think 20%. That's the question you should be asking me.
Okay. 20%. Okay. Well, that's part of the question. So I just wanted to know if I can do the two at simultaneously at the same
Yes, you
time.
can.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right. Thank
Einstein himself. Einstein. All right, all right. I just put the link. Sorry, I forgot to put the link to the waiting room. If anybody wants to ask me a question, come on in. It seems like I'm a little bit crabby today. I don't know why. I just had a very nice hike in the mountains. Maybe I'll try to show you guys some pictures. Boulder. I love Boulder here. It's very, very pretty. So let me try to download some of those so that I can share them with you. Mega 2019. Hello.
Hi Jim, how are you?
I'm great. I thought it said MAGA at first, so then I wasn't going to let you in.
Yeah.
What's
I
up?
have a question. I have a question. Uh, I applied for my daughter's passport, and then she got a passport. So she was 18 years old. So the passport agency sent me to return the green card with provided address. So am I to fill other form to return the green card, or just send with the address they provide me?
I don't understand what you're asking me, Meg. I'm sorry. Go try to explain to me her situation.
Yeah, I want to return my daughter green card.
Why?
She already get a passport, and then
Well,
the passport agency told me to return green card back because she already got the passport. So
yeah,
they didn't.
I would just put it in a safe place. I wouldn't return it.
Okay.
There's no rule that says you have to return it.
Oh, what about her status, U.S. citizen status?
Well, that's a different question. If you're asking me, Jim, should I apply for an N600 for my daughter because she's a U.S. citizen? The answer to that question is yes. And if you do that, that's when you turn in your passport. That's when you turn in your green card.
So I don't have to return back because she come as immigrant. I apply for her, and then she got the green card, and then before she turning 17, 18, I apply for a passport. She got passport, and then the passport come in, and then they send me a letter to the passport agency, and then they told me to return green card to her
I
status.
understand.
Yeah, okay.
And you can, if you want to send it to USCIS, you can. I think what you should do is file an N600 for her, get her a certificate of citizenship. And when she goes for her little ceremony, that's when you give them the passport.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Jay. That's what I
Good
got
luck,
to know.
Mega. See you,
Thank you,
buddy.
brother.
All right. I'm trying to be nice because I think I'm a little crabby. All right. Pal is here. Hello, Pal. What's up?
Hey Jim, how
Are you
are
going to play
you?
us a song? Are you going to play us a song?
I'm just practicing as usual. Um, I can play some chords. I don't know if you can hear my
Nice.
amps away from the mic. So,
Yeah,
um,
we heard it
how,
fine.
how have you been? How's everything? Can you hear me?
Um, I hear you just fine. Go right ahead.
So I just had a question. So I married my beautiful wife about under a year, under 2 years ago, and we filed for my green card, and I got it. And then I moved to a different state because of work, and she stayed behind just because it was hard to move together at the exact same time. So I was physically at a different address from her than her for maybe a month or so. Will that prevent me for applying for citizenship under the 3-year rule?
So, so are you saying that when the time comes for you to apply under the 3-year rule, you will have lived together for basically 2 years and 11 months?
Call it 2 years and 10 months.
Yeah, I would just wait an extra 2 months of living together to do that.
Oh, so
Like
basically,
you might have to prove up days because in the old days it was hey pal, were you married 3 years? Yeah, okay. But then the Biden team made it a little bit tougher and they construed that rule a little bit more harshly to say that you have to be living together as spouse and spouse.
so
Does that
I
make
need to,
sense?
yeah. So just to be clear, so I need to figure out how many days her and I were not living together, and for X amount of days, I round it up to whether it's 1 month or 2 months. I wait for as many months beyond the 3-year period, and then I apply for citizenship. Correct?
And I would add 2 more weeks. Yep.
Okay, just to be on the safer side. Correct?
Yeah. So what I would do is I'd sort of keep a chart of our time together.
Okay, that makes sense. That sounds good. Yeah, I will most definitely do that. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Pal. See you, buddy.
Take care. Bye.
All right. All right. Let's see here. Junie says, "Hey Jim, you don't seem like your normal self. You're probably tired. I think I am tired." Um, so we got back from Belize. This is a hard life, right? We got back from Belize on Wednesday. My fraternity brothers were in town all weekend, so I was up late Friday night and Saturday, and I haven't been sleeping. So I think exactly I am tired. So for that very reason, I'm going to choose not to engage with this comment. I'm just going to be pleasant and happy and just skip right over this comment. Maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow. Mustafa, what you got?
Hey, Jim. It's nice to talk to you today. Uh, I've got a question regarding, I have a couple questions. I want to just summarize it very quickly. The first of all, I have a friend of mine. He's out of the country in a third country, and he has accepted as asylum seeker. And I'm a US citizen here. Can I sponsor him and get him to the US or not? That's the first question. If you want to go answer one by one, or you want me to ask the
Yeah, let's
second
do that.
question?
Let's do that. Yeah, let's
Okay.
do that. So you're saying I'm a U.S. citizen and I have a friend who. So what country is your friend from?
Afghanistan. We are both from Afghanistan. Afghanistan situation is in that situation right now.
And where is he right now?
He's in Thailand.
And does he have status in Thailand?
Yes, he is a asylum seeker status. He's accepted as a refugee asylum. Like,
Was it pending or he was approved?
No, he is not approved. Like the UN has accepted, give them the card as a person who is seeking for a refugee to any country, and it's not clear yet which country he can go to or not. But he asked me if I can sponsor him. That with they will help him to bring him here.
So we don't do anything at our office, Mustafa, with refugee stuff. But my understanding is that there does come a point at some part in the process, basically towards the end, where they say to your friend, well, let's call him Abdullah, hey, Abdullah, do you have any friends or family anywhere in the United States or England or whatever countries are taking people, right? So then at that point, I think there's a role for you to play. But until then, I don't think that there is.
That's what they have asked him.
Then tell him, yeah. I mean, if you want to sponsor him, if there's a form for you to fill out and you're willing to do it, then sure. I just don't know much about it because we don't handle those cases.
Okay, so one more question. It's the same kind of question, but hopefully you will handle this one like you guys are working on this or not. I have sponsored my mother, which she is in Afghanistan, and she's been waiting for her interview since 4 months. We don't have an embassy in Kabul, Afghanistan. So I transferred her case to Rwanda, African country, where she can go to for her interview. But typically, like the other friends of mine or other people who have transferred the case over there, it took them like couple months, and they have scheduled interview for their family members. But for my mother, it's been like 4 months. I've been waiting that if they can schedule an interview for us, that way she's not feeling good and I have to do something or bring her here for treatment or go there. So I'm kind of I don't know what to do to expedite the interview situation and for her interview.
I don't think there's anything you can do but wait. You're asking a third country's embassy to take your mom's case. They view that as doing you a favor. So I think you just have to sit tight and wait for them to call it.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Bye, Mustafa. See you, buddy.
Bye bye.
All right. That was our friend Mustafa. I don't have a lot of information about refugee stuff. I probably should learn some more. All right, Aya is here. Hi, Aya. Assalamu alaikum.
Hi there. I think Muslim. I am originally from New York. I moved to Egypt about 11 years ago, where I met my now husband of 9 years. I applied for visa. It's an IR1 case for him here. We have 3 kids together. We went through the whole processes, doing the I-130 and then NVC, and it took many months. Finally got the interview in the Cairo embassy. The interview went fairly smoothly. He was asked like a few questions by the counselor, very basic questions, simple questions, and then he was put into AP, administrative processing, form DS 5535. He wasn't really given any information, and I was just wondering, is there like a reason for why he may have been put into administrative processing, how long it might take?
When did you file the I-130?
In February 2022.
Why did you wait so long into your marriage to file the I-130?
So I came to Egypt for pharmacy school, and I was in school. I was pregnant. I got pregnant again, and then just like.
Mhm. I just asked because I think that's one reason why they might just be slow walking it. They're probably saying, that's weird that she waited so long. Okay. And has your husband ever tried to come to the United States before this?
No, never.
Hmm. What happened at his interview?
He was asked who is petitioning for you. His wife, obviously. Where does she live? New York. What does she do? I'm a medical assistant. That's it. What's your email? Here's the DS5535.
And when did he give it back to them?
This later that day.
But how many months ago was that? 4 months or how? I forgot. Did you say?
4 months.
Yeah. So the State Department's had it how long altogether?
What do you mean? They didn't give us a time frame.
No, when did the State Department, when did the NBC open up the case?
When our interview date was?
When did you begin processing at the National Visa Center?
Oh, I honestly don't remember, but our DQ date was July of 23.
Okay, and you don't remember, you might have told me already, but you don't remember when USCIS approved the I-130?
Our priority date was February 2022.
No, that's just when you filed the I-130. I need to know. So in the old days, when I sued the government for delays, I could throw USCIS in with the State Department, but now they don't let me do that anymore. Now they look how long has the agency that you want to take action had the case. So what I need to know is how long has the State Department had the case? When did it go from USCIS to the National Visa Center? Roughly.
I think maybe under 6 months.
Oh, it can't be because you were DQ'd in 23.
So I was not making enough, so I waited for a while to try to kind of find a joint sponsor, and then one of his relatives that lives in Texas paid for him. So it took us a while to kind of find.
Do you remember how much?
I honestly don't remember. Like I said, my DQ date. Yeah.
I mean, I think right now you just have to wait. I mean, I don't know if you know this. The DS5535 is just a BS way they use to slow down cases for people that they don't want to give a visa to. So that's just like, it doesn't mean anything. But they do discriminate against men from Egypt and stuff like that. So that's a thing. But I think if we were to sue them for a delay in your husband's case, they would say, what are you talking about delay? You took forever to get us an affidavit of support. You waited 7 years to file for him. It's not our fault you waited that long. So I think right now you just got to wait.
Okay. So there's no specific reason why this form could be given. Just
it's not personal. It's just Cairo.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Aya. Good luck. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Ed is here. Hello, Ed.
Hey, Jim. How are you doing?
Great, buddy. How you doing?
I am good. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
Sure.
I'm a U.S. citizen and got married in May 2022 and got married on the 14th, filed on the 29th. We got
of what month?
Same month. So got married May 14th, went for honeymoon. Then on the 29th, once we were back, filed for the I-130. So we got to the DQ stage in December of 2022. And we've been waiting for an interview at the consulate since. So my question is,
what consulate?
U.S. Embassy in Nairobi.
Okay.
So my question is, recently I was able to get information. They indicate that they're processing of cases from October 2022 and earlier. So my primary question is this a case where a writ of mandamus could be used?
If you send me an email, I can connect you. I have a buddy who's doing a big lawsuit against Nairobi for the spouses of U.S. citizens, and I can forward you on to him, and you can talk to him about it.
Who are you talking about?
Curtis Morrison.
Yeah, I spoke to Curtis. He dropped the whole thing.
Oh, he did? How come?
So he was expecting a good number of people to participate, but the number was small, so he just
Small.
dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me the timeline one more time. Date of marriage.
May 14th, 2022.
Priority date on the I-130.
May 29th.
Of 2022. And then USCIS approves the I-130 when?
I believe that was in November. I can't remember the exact date.
November of 22?
Yes.
Okay, so basically the State Department's had the case for 20 months or so, and it's been DQ'd. Your understanding is they are processing cases that are not as old as yours, that yours is sort of being delayed extra. Is that fair to say?
So the processing of October 2022. So I think they got to September 2022 in January. So since January, the rate of processing cases just went downhill. And so between January and this month in June, they've only processed a month. So yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I think the only way to find out is to sue them. You know, they are still looking at cases to see if they want to fight or if they want to go ahead. So yes, I think it's a case that's good for a writ of mandamus for now.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you live?
I live in Texas.
Or where does your spouse live? Oh, you're the U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Texas is a good place to sue.
All right. I've reached out to your office before. I don't know how best to go about it so that it gets attention.
Send an email to info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com and say, this is Ed. I was on the show with Jim at the 25-minute mark on Sunday.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Bye, Ed. See you, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
All right. That was Ed. Jillian and TK, what's up? You're on mute.
Yep. Sorry, Jim. She had one job. So, first time call, long time listener. So I'm not sure if you remember us, but we actually spoke with you earlier this month. So we've, we got you on retainer. We got everything going. Your attorney and your paralegal, they're awesome. But we do have just a couple of questions. We want to know if you could kind of settle a bet between the both of them. Now,
that's fun.
Yeah, well, breakfast in bed is on the line here, Jim. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So, very important.
So we're getting everything together, right? So we're putting together a picture timeline. Now the petition is for Jillian and her 2 children. So Jillian feels that we should put 3 separate timelines together with the pictures. And I say we just put one giant one together and then just submit it like 3 different times.
This is sort of rigged because you told me who's advocating for which position. At our house, you have to stay neutral as to who's advocating which position. But sadly, I think the answer is one timeline for everybody. Sorry, Jillian. I was rooting for Jillian. Sorry.
Everybody does. So, and then what was our other question?
Yeah, I think it just leads to too much confusion with multiple timelines. I think just having one, and it's like basically a family timeline. I think.
Yep.
Yep.
So isn't it like 3 different packages? I mean, I'm not going against what you're saying, but okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same pictures, but he would have like more time with JL, more time with JC at this, at the same spot. So it's different pictures, but the same place. Like we went to Disney, so.
Really, we clearly had a ruling.
Okay.
She's This is what Amani does when she goes to my wife when she goes to court. The judge rules, and she keeps on advocating.
So,
Okay.
so the other one involves an ID, right? So I think we initially were talking to you, right? Social security number. We got to wait for all that stuff, but we can't get on. We can't do joint checking accounts. We can't do any of that stuff without an ID.
Totally okay.
So we're okay with that. Still just wait.
They know how everything works. Yeah, they know how that works.
Okay.
But and one question: once you submit the documents, are we allowed to go back in there and upload anything, or once it's submitted by you, it's submitted?
You can upload more stuff. We'll probably tell you not to. Just instead, what we do is we build more evidence and gather all that stuff while the case is pending, in case we get an interview or in case we get a request for evidence. But there's no reason to just automatically start uploading. I would hold that stuff back in case you do end up having an interview, because they like to say, well, do you have any more evidence for me? And then you like to be able to sort of drop it on their desk.
Okay,
Good stuff.
got it.
Well, thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you.
Hi guys. I'm glad the team is working out for you. Who's your lawyer and your paralegal?
The paralegal is Juliana.
Oh, perfect. So that's probably Casey and Andrew.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
Great.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jim.
Bye.
All right, bye.
See ya. Bye. Rashida says, I wouldn't want to meet Amani in the case against me in court. I bet you know what? You win. You know what? You win. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, Amani's tough, man. No doubt about it. Mo's back. Hey, Mo. How you doing, buddy?
Good. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yes. What's up?
So my question is, with everything that's going on with the election and the way the debate went and all that, I'm stressing the hell out about.
Yes.
And my I-130 was hasn't been approved. It was 2 years in March, so it's 2 years and 3 months, whatever, 4 months. And because I'm only an LPR, there's still no visas available.
Right.
It was moving up until June. The visible kept moving like 3 or 4 months at a time, and it's now it's November 21, and we're March 22.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that between now and, I don't know, the end of the year, or is it going to move until they release more visas? How does that work?
I think what you can count on now is nothing moving until October, and then you'll see a jump in October, probably 3 or 4 months.
At the end of the fiscal year. Okay, I have one more quick question. What about, I read quickly, I didn't read the details, but something about a Supreme Court case about an immigrant not being able to apply for a green card for a spouse. What's that about? Did you see that one?
Again? You're talking about the Supreme Court decision?
The Supreme Court made returned a decision this week, I think, about.
That's right, a week ago Friday. Yeah, I gotcha. You're talking about, okay, so here's the way that case went. So there was a lady who, a U.S. citizen, was married to someone who was inside the United States, and
out of
he
status?
needed a waiver. He was out of status, and he had a long criminal history, and he needed a waiver for illegal entry and for being out of status. So he went back home to Mexico, and the embassy said, even with your waiver, we're not going to give you a visa because you've got these gang affiliations down in Mexico. So she filed a lawsuit, not like my lawsuit. So my lawsuits are for delays. She filed for a lawsuit to actually challenge the decision of the embassy denying her husband the visa. And the Supreme Court has said many times, but specifically like 6 or 7 years ago, in a case called Kerry versus Din, that basically the government doesn't have to give you a reason for denying your spouse's visa. The embassies, USCIS does, but the embassies have to. Embassies, all they have to do is cite the provision that they're not letting your spouse get a visa, and then give you that piece of paper. No explanation necessary. Just cite the right statute, and you can't challenge it. Well, these people challenged it in court, and the Ninth Circuit, which is the most liberal. Well, not almost. Here's what happened: the Ninth Circuit, which is the California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, pretty much the most liberal circuit of the 11 circuits, actually said that a U.S. citizen does have the right to find out on a limited basis why the State Department didn't approve the visa. So Biden's stupid ass legal team appealed that to Trump's Supreme Court.
Mm.
And they went beyond even what Biden said. They went beyond even what they said in Kerry versus Din 6 years ago. What they said was, and I don't want you to freak out because you're a freak outy kind of a guy,
Yes.
and this will freak you out when I tell you. This will freak you out when I tell you. But they said they went beyond, and they said a U.S. citizen has the right to marry whomever they want, but a U.S. citizen does not have the right to live in the United States with their spouse.
Right. So I can't
That
force
was
the
the
government to say you have to allow my spouse to live here. That's sort of the idea.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop me from
So it's
marrying
bad.
whoever I want, but I can't. I can't force you
That doesn't mean
allow him to live here.
right.
That's
Right.
really
Yeah,
sad.
Robert's right. It was El Salvador. It wasn't Mexico. It was El Salvador. It wasn't Mexico. That's right.
Okay.
I forgot. Yeah, it is really sad. Now,
That's
another
good.
case. Now that we're having our Supreme Court hour, Mo. There's another case that came down on Friday, and this is going to affect agencies all across the country. But basically, for the last 40 years, the courts have said agencies have expertise in their area. So, Department of Labor, USCIS, all that stuff. So we're going to defer to an agency's decision. Well, the Trumpistas, they hate the administrative state. They hate administrative agencies. They want to gut all these administrative agencies. And what they want to do, so they said no longer will federal courts be required to defer to the agencies. And what they're hoping is that they get Trump back in power and he appoints another 30% of all the federal judges. So then it's bad. It's really bad.
It is. It's terrible. The Supreme Court used to be this sort of respectable thing, and now it's like
it's a joke.
It's a joke. And they get to control our lives, and they get to take gifts from billionaires and stuff, and nobody can say anything to them. Right. It's annoying.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Anyway, thank you, Jim. I'll just keep waiting, I guess. I'll let you know.
Keep going, brother. When do you get when can you apply for citizenship? Like 2 more years?
Yeah. This month coming up, it'll be my 3rd year with my green card.
Well, that'd be great if they get green card spouses cases down faster than it takes for people to get their citizenship. I mean, then that'll be good. So hopefully that'll happen for you.
I'm hoping that we at least win some of the lower houses, the Senate or the House, and
right.
we can block some of the shit that they're going to try to do.
Right.
This project 2025
Thanks,
is
Mo.
ridiculous. I could get through like a third of it, and I'm just like, I can't deal with it.
It's scary stuff.
It is.
Hey, buddy.
Bye. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
You got it.
Happy 4th.
Peace. Yep. Thanks, man. Happy 4th to you. All right. I'll be here for softball for the 4th, but maybe we'll do something fun for the fireworks. Maybe we can see the fireworks. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Good.
Is it okay if I can just come off the camera, please?
Done.
Yeah. Okay. My question is, I told you already. I had got my EAD the 1st of February of this year, and I have my social and state ID and everything. So my family is planning a trip to go to Disney. So I just wanted to know, is it okay for me to fly with them, or I shouldn't?
So before you applied for your green card, what was your status?
I was out of status because when I came to the country, I was 14. And
You've been out of status for a really long time.
Yeah.
Are you talking about flying or driving?
They're trying to fly.
So what would you use for ID to get on the plane?
I have my
your driver's license.
No, I don't have I have the state ID.
I mean, you know me. Anytime you can avoid, interaction with law enforcement, that's good. But if you're asking me, do I think it's something bad's going to happen? No, I don't think so. I mean, I think worst case scenario, they don't let you on the plane. But I don't know. I don't think they would even do that.
Okay, I just wanted to ask just to make sure if it's okay for me to do it. I don't want to, mess anything.
Well, I can't say for sure that nothing's going to happen, but I think it's very, very unlikely.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank
Bye,
you so
Vanessa.
much.
All right. See you, kid. Okay. Bye. Everyone wants to go to Disney World. Disney World's fun. All right. Let's go to Geo Man. Hello, Geo Man.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. I watch your channel and it's very informative. And thank you so much for your help to everyone. I have a quick question
Sure.
for you. I came to the United States with a tourist visa. So right now I am out of the status, and I was in Miami. I live in New York now. I was in Miami, so I met my wife. She's from Cuba. She is a resident. She has a green card now, and we got married. And we would like to fill apply for my green card as well. So, what is the process like? How is it possible for me to fill up now? Or
So, how long has she had her green card?
she has over a year.
Why did she wait so long to get her green card?
Or because she came like 2 years ago.
Okay. How did she get her green card? As a Cuban?
Yeah,
You
Cuban
said,
adjustment.
yeah, not through marriage or anything.
No,
Okay. So, do you know about the visa bulletin?
no. What is it?
Okay. So it's called the visa bulletin. Can you see my screen? I'm going to pull it up. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool. So, share screen, visa bulletin. So this is the July visa bulletin. Okay. So if you get married, you will be the spouse of a lawful permanent resident, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
We already
She's a
married.
green card
Yes.
holder. Oh, you're already married. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that category, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, it's a small screen, but
Okay.
it's a
Okay. So
visibility.
your category.
I'll Google up later on, so if I can find
Okay.
anything about it.
Yeah, or you can watch the video. But right here, F2A is your category. You're the spouse of a
Okay.
permanent resident. Okay. So you're in the F2A category. So first chart we have to look at is the F2A category, dates for filing family-sponsored visa applications. So right now, they are working on cases from November of 2023. So if your spouse was a U.S. citizen, then they could file your I-130 and your 485 together. But because she only has a green card, you have to do them separately. It's called a two-step instead of a one-step. Okay, so the
Okay.
first step is get the I-130 on file and get that piece going so that you get a priority date. Because right now they're working on people who filed the I-130 back in November of 2023. Okay,
Oh,
but now here's the problem. So if you look up here, F2A, they're working on giving green cards from cases of November of 2021. So it's like a 3-year wait. So it's probably going to be when your spouse becomes a citizen before you get your green card yourself. You can get things started,
yeah.
but but it probably won't be until she gets her citizenship, which is why that was the first question I asked you. When can she apply for citizenship? Because it's probably not going to be until she gets her citizenship that you are able to get your green card. Okay? You
Yeah. So
understand?
one question. So is it going to help on anything because she's Cuban? Is it- no, it's the same thing, right?
No, it's the same thing.
All right. So this is like you said visibility, right? So if I Google, like I can find detailed information just like this.
Visa bulletin, BULLETIN. But here, you're not asking me the most important question. And
Yes.
everybody's gotten way too casual about things. Okay, are you ready? Because here comes what you should be asking me.
What
Jim,
is it?
Jim, is it safe for me? Is it safe for me to apply for a green card? Yeah, David's right. I forgot. Because you're out of status, you can't adjust until she becomes a citizen.
Yes.
So even if a visa was available right now, you're not eligible to adjust because you're out of status. Thank you, David. So, but the question you should be asking me is, Jim, is it safe for me to have my spouse get a green card through the Cuban Adjustment Act? Is it safe for me to apply for an I-130, knowing that a visa is not going to be available to me for 3 or 4 years, and I can't get my green card until she's a citizen. Is it safe for me, given the fact that Donald Trump is probably going to be elected president, and you would be handing him your address? They would have it
Mhm.
in their files on the day that he takes office, and he says he's going to deport everybody. So the real question is it safe for you to file the I-130, or is it better for you to just keep staying in the shadows and waiting until she becomes a citizen to do anything? That's the question.
Yes. So what would you recommend on that question?
Well, like I said, everybody's gotten way too casual about this because for two reasons. One is visas were available sooner in the early part of the Trump administration, and during Obama, you never had to worry about this. So I hate to say it, Geo
Yeah.
man, but I think my advice actually, I mean, you have to weigh two things, and they're both bad. One is I could get picked up by ICE tomorrow if I get in a car accident or whatever. I could get picked up by ICE tomorrow, or if Trump gets elected and he's going to deport everybody and he has my address and he knows I'm out of status, then they're going to put me on the list of people to deport. So I can't make that decision for you. The one thing I would say, if I was leaning one way or the other,
Yeah.
you are married to a U.S. citizen. I think that even if things go crazy with Trump, people are going to slow that stuff down, and having an I-130 on file overall would be a good thing because it shows that you're trying to get status. But neither approach is great, and Trump might lose. So so I would say, if it were me, I would probably go ahead and file the I-130. But I only want you to do it with your eyes wide open. I want you to understand
Yeah.
that you're raising your hand and saying that you're here, and
Yep.
if Trump gets elected, but he's going to try to deport 11 million people. So
Yep.
even that idiot's probably not going to focus on people without criminal records or people who are married to U.S. citizens. Those will still be low on the priority list.
Gotcha. Okay. So
All right.
yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like, so there is like so much like information about false information about it. So people say, yeah, it's okay, you can do this, like whatever, because she got a green card because of Cuban adjustment, and that should work. That should help you out and something. So I, I don't know. Like it's got confused. So that's why. Yeah.
Here's what
Thank
I'll
you
say.
for.
Here's one thing that I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments might know. The one way it might help you that she's Cuban, if let me see something real quick.
Please.
If she could apply for citizenship after 3 years versus 5 years, that would obviously be a big help. After 3 or 5 years, I think she has to wait the full 5 years. Yeah, I think that's only for spouses. So I don't think having her green card through the Cuban Adjustment Act helps her. But I'll do a little checking, and if I find out anything, I'll put it on the show.
Thank you. So one more question. One last question, please. So if we fill up like I-31 or I-30,
Yeah.
well, I looked it up. This form actually, it's not really complicated. So I will think like we can both fill it up together. Do I need somebody's help, or if I fill it up myself, is that okay?
My brother, this is the most shocking question of all. You are out of status.
Yes.
You are raising your you. I think it's insane to me that you even asked me that question. I think that's insane.
Well, sometimes I don't know. I would say like sometimes life is a risk. You just take a risk and see what happens.
It's your call, brother. Whatever you want.
All right, I understand. Thank you, Jim. Thank you
See
a
you,
lot.
man. You got it.
Have a
Bye-bye.
lovely day.
You too. Joe and V wish I would stop saying Trump's going to get elected. Okay. I'm going to manifest. I'm going to do some manifesting right now. Joe Biden is going to get 10 years younger. Joe Biden is going to speak in coherent sentences. Joe Biden is going to have, he's going to get an injection of stem cells, and he's going to turn this whole thing around. And the 40% of people who love Donald Trump, some of them are going to decide they're going to take off their red MAGA hats. They're going to see the light. They're going to understand that Trump and Trumpism is corrosive for America. So I'm going to manifest that right now. Um, no, I'm just teasing. I get it. I get it, Joe. I'm just teasing. I made Danny laugh. It was a bad debate. Now, the spin doctors are out for the last 3 days. They're saying, whoa, there were 20 million people, less people that watched this debate than most debates. Okay. But Biden had one job at that debate. They had one job at the debate, and that was to not appear too old. And that's the one thing he did the most. Monthers trying to make me mad. People are trying to make me mad. I got too much MAGA stuff today. What the hell? Probably because of that damn TikTok. I've been doing too many TikToks. Enrique is here. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Jim, how are you? Good, good. I've been here. I've been in your show a couple of times. The last time I was in your show, it was like 2 weeks prior to getting my citizenship, and I asked you questions like how would you like what tips to do, and I got my citizenship. I'm a U.S. citizen now, so that's good.
Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you.
That's great.
Now the reason that I am on this call is that I have applied for my wife back in Albania. The priority date is October 11 of 2020. The case dragged on at USCIS for 2.5 years. Last year in July 21st, it was approved by USCIS, and then the case was transferred over to the National Visa Center, and then the case became documentarily qualified in September 11 of last year. But then, they couldn't proceed with the case because it was under the F2A category. I was a green card holder. So they cited the NVC cited the visa bulletin, and they couldn't, schedule my wife for an interview. But then I became a citizen April 1st, and they scheduled my wife for an interview on June 4th. She went to the embassy in Tirana, Albania. But actually, they put her in administrative processing now.
Jesus.
And
Why?
it's been almost a month. Well, in the interview, they kept her for like 45 minutes. They grilled
Why?
her. They grilled her, like they asked a lot of questions because they seemed like they couldn't trust our marriage. That's like they asked her a lot of questions about, do you know your husband's relatives, and a lot of questions which she answered correctly and truthfully and gave all the information. At the end of the interview, she gave all the documents proving our relationship, basically the airplane tickets for the past 4 years that I have gone there on vacation, staying with my wife, going to trips together.
Okay.
Tickets, everything, Western Union.
So what's the question?
So the question is this case eligible for a writ of mandamus lawsuit?
Sadly, I think it's a little too early. A little too early. I mean, she did have her interview. Her interview was in June. I would say let's talk again at the end of September and see. Maybe you won't need to file a lawsuit. Maybe they'll work through it on their own. But I think, given the fact that, and I do think USCIS is purposely delaying these cases so that they give cover to the State Department. But I think that we need to, because now they would just judge the State Department based on when they got the case. So I think we've got to wait at least until 3 months or so after the interview and a year after documentally qualified. And, obviously keep mentioning Enric's a citizen, Enric's a citizen, Enric's a citizen. So I would say end of September.
Yeah, and I followed up with them. Sent the embassy an email asking like, hey, do you guys need any more documentation or anything we can do to speed up the case? And they said no. They just send a normal reply saying, this is administrative processing, we're going to take our time to review the case. This might take months or even extended period of time if it's like extended administrative processing, stuff like that. So they didn't give too much information of what they are doing, but
which is not much. All right, well, we'll wait to hear from you. Okay, Enrique, thanks, buddy.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hey, man. Yep. All right. Let's go to Aunt Susie. Aunt Susie, are you there? Hello? Going once, you're on mute. Going twice. Aunt Susie's out of here. Carlos is here. Hi, buddy.
Hey, Mr. Jean.
How you doing?
All right. Just listening to the news and watching your channel. All right. So this is the situation. I came in on 2004. I was 16 years old with a visitor visa, and I got married on 2012. They denied my I-751 on 2015, and I was placed on removal proceedings.
Why did they deny your 751?
At the time, I got separated from my wife.
So did you ask for a waiver? Did you file it with a lawyer? Did you submit evidence that it was a real marriage?
I hired a lawyer after they put me on removal proceedings, and then I reapplied as a divorce, and they still denied me because I don't have sufficient evidence. And they gave me the chance to explain myself, but I don't know, I just couldn't speak. I got left. So after that, I was supposed to be going to single hearing, and the judge sent me a letter saying that I'm not a threat to the country, I'm not a priority. So they removed me off the court calendar. Since then, they've been giving me a I-551. I'm married now with a U.S. citizen. I have a U.S. citizen daughter, but my case still in court. I mean, off calendar court, but in court. So they're gonna call me anytime soon. So
has your new spouse filed a new I-130 for you?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I haven't yet. So the question is there a possibility that I can keep fighting my case of my ex-wife? Is it a better idea to just apply for I-130? Or what's the best thing to do?
I'm going to tell you what the best thing to do is, Carlos. Are you ready?
Yes.
The best thing for you is to talk to my wife. My wife has had your case 4 times. And each time she's gone back, filed one more time the 751, because what she says, Amani, my wife, says the USCIS says that you can't get a green card based on a new marriage, a new I-130, if you didn't get the conditions removed from the old one. I think that's bullshit. But she says that's what they say, and I've read it. That is what they say.
Right.
So I think what you should do is email me, and then what I would say is you should have us research, get your entire file from the immigration court and from USCIS. I bet you $10,000, not really, I bet you $10 that your ex-wife said bad things about you to USCIS. And maybe we can get that in the file. But in any event, we need to see everything that's happened, and then I think you have to file one more 751.
Of my new marriage.
Off the old one. 751 off the old marriage.
Right. My ex-wife is willing to testify. Sometimes she's willing to, sometimes she's not.
Yeah, so then we would want to get a statement from her under oath before we file the new 751. That's what we want. But
All right.
Amani would do all that stuff.
All right. And one question. I be getting. I have no criminal record at all. I've been paying taxes since I became legal.
Yeah.
So with an I-551, because I've been reading a lot of stuff, is it safe to travel out?
Are you ready?
I've been ready.
Fuck no! Do not leave the United States. You're technically in deportation, man.
Right. Great to know. And with the new law that is coming in, and I've been here for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
There's no chance of me speaking with ICE asking, listen, I've been here this amount of years, I haven't done nothing wrong, this and that. Can you just grant me my 10 years?
So no, they can't.
Right.
And just to be clear, that's not a law. That's something Biden says he's gonna do, but he hasn't done jack shit on it. He hasn't proposed the rule. He hasn't done any of the real work to even make that happen. That's just politics for the election.
Yeah,
That's not a law. Yeah.
And the great question about the law, right? I understand about traveling out. I understand that if you travel out, they probably call that as abandoned status, right? But my point is, on the one law, if just a judge can testify and say, "Listen, you're no longer a legal green card holder or however," on the one law, will they let me back? Just because?
No way.
Right.
You don't have any status.
So I'm out of status.
They terminated your status. Yeah, when they denied your 751 and sent you to immigration court, they terminated your green card status. You have no status right now. And just to be clear, did you enter with inspection on a visa and overstay, or did you enter without inspection?
I got inspected.
Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, just shoot us an email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, and then we go from there, okay?
All right, copy. Thank you very much.
Bye, Carlos. See you, buddy.
See you. Have a good one.
You too. All right, everybody, that'll do it for today's show. I'm heading to the grocery store to get some supplies, and then I'm going to the airport to pick up Amani and Noor. So I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. We'll be back tomorrow. This week's the times are all going to be weird this week. It all depends on softball. I think tomorrow's going to be around lunchtime. So I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.